Oh, that's such a cute picture of Walter. Yeah, so poor Walter has a very swollen, calloused elbow. So Meg had to put a long sleeve shirt on him, which is adorable. Um, I don't know if he likes it, but he's not trying to chew it off, which is good. Sorry about that. It's so cold outside. Yesterday was like so nice weather-wise. And then today it's like winter came back with a vengeance. It's like, nope, you're not getting this winter easily. So sorry I haven't been here doing the talk for the past couple weeks. It was Thanksgiving, and then Carlene was busy doing computer stuff. So this is the first time back in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. But yeah. So today I had Joe, as usual. I had Donna and Wicked, and I had Diane in the barn. I'm Haley. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah to you too if you celebrate. Still, if you don't. Nevel is great. He is just such a love. Poor guy, because he broke a bone in his knee or leg somewhere. He has to be like resting all the time. He's not supposed to play at all. He shouldn't run. He shouldn't do a lot of stairs in a day, and he's not supposed to get in and out of the car a lot. So he's just like losing his marbles wanting to play. He keeps trying to get my other dogs to play. I have 2 labs, and one is 12 and one is almost 16, and they're like, we're old, we don't want to play. So he tries, but it's not working. On Saturday, I took Nevel, Ramon's new name is Nevel. I took Nevel to a local pet store by my house, because Santa was coming there. And I took Wilbur last year. And Nevel is definitely Wilbur's son. They both hated it. I think I have basically the same picture of them with Santa. Like 1 year apart, 2 different dogs. And it's just both of them trying to get away from Santa. The person was like, oh, do you want to try again? I was like, no, I'm just gonna get him out of here. He has learned his new name. It's been a little over a week. So I'm impressed. He keeps peeing in my house. Alright. He keeps peeing in my house. Mostly because I haven't really identified his I have to pee tell. So I think I've got it. It's just he paces like out of the room, kind of like, okay mom, let's go. But since he's still new in my house, sometimes he paces anyway. So trying to differentiate that has been difficult. But pretty much every time he starts to pace, I'm like, okay, let's go outside. So at home, I'm used to labs, but I have had Danes at my house several times. But like just the amount that Nevel drinks or attempts to drink, because he'll take like a mouthful of water, turn his head until he's not over the mat that is there, he's over the wood, and he just lets go this entire mouthful of water. I'm like, thank you. But he's cute. I feel like we're wasting so much water having to change the water. Because my labs, when they drink, they don't drool into the bucket. But Nevel, oh my gosh. Carlene is just so right when she says Danes have the power to turn an entire bucket of water into slime just from like one sip. I have to replace that like every time he drinks. But when I replace it, he's like, "Ooh, fresh water, it's clean. I want to drink out of that." So like it'll be like 4 or 5 times I replace it in a go. And then eventually I'm like, okay, I put it down and I'm like, "You've had enough to drink. Let's go. Let the other dogs drink some more." We're still arguing about whether he can sleep in my bed or on the dog bed on the floor. But he's getting it. I don't think the dog bed's as comfortable as he would like, but it's definitely more comfortable than a kennel here. It's just like a regular Costco dog bed. But like my bed's much more comfy for him. And I would let him lay on my, like, sleep on my bed if he wasn't, like, on me the entire night. I have a queen size bed. He can definitely fit on my bed. He could stay on his side, and I could stay on mine. But, like, he gets on my bed, and he goes on his side, and then I lie down, and then he's like, "Oh, mom's in the bed. I need to go to her." So then he comes back on my side and invades my space. And I'm like, "Oh, kid." So then I try to, like, nudge him away, like, just so that he moves a little bit to his side. And he's like, "No, I don't like you nudging me." So he gets down onto the floor, onto the dog bed. Do Danes shed a lot? That really depends on the dog. So Walter, he sheds a ton. He just got bathed like a couple days ago, and he's already shedding a ton. And then there's Nevel, who we're patting him, and he's not shedding at all. And I don't even know when the last time he got a bath was. It must have been a long time ago, but he's silky smooth, but he's not shedding, which is great. My theory is that the more white on a dog, the more they shed. Because I feel like even the mantles, if you, like, scratch the black and then you, like, brush off with your hand where you scratched, you're gonna get, like, a little bit of fur that comes off. But if you do that to the white part on the same dog, that's where you get, like, a ton of fur that comes off. That's just my theory. From the clothes of those at SDP, I would say yes. Yeah, it definitely depends on the dog. But same thing with, does the dogs drool a lot? We have dogs like Lainey, who drools a bunch. And then, I'm trying to think of a dog that doesn't drool a lot here. I think Soph doesn't drool a lot. Nevel doesn't drool a lot. But depends on the dog. At the pet store when we went to visit Santa, I was like, "I'm gonna buy Nevel like this nice toy." So I got like a Kong brand toy, and I was like, I wonder how long this will take for him to destroy. And that first day I had to sew it because he had poked a hole in it and was tearing the stuffing out. I was like, I just bought this, maybe I'll just sew it. So now it's been like 3 days and it is destroyed. But it's to be expected. Is the backpack vacuum still being used? Yes, it is. It's not my favorite thing, but yes, we still use it. I feel like it doesn't suck well, but it could just be me doing user error or something. But we have found if it sucks up any water, it does clog the thing. So sometimes we end up like sucking up a little bit of water. So how are my other dogs with Nevel? They pretty much ignore him, and he, for the most part, ignores them. But I think they're starting to get that Nevel's gonna live there now, because I've taken dogs home and they understood the routine. Okay, I'd bring a dog home for a night or two, and then I'd bring him back here. So I'm sure at first they were like, why is he still here? But they don't really interact. My 16-year-old, I don't really know how well he sees, or he doesn't hear well either. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. In Autumn, she's 12, but she's just like an old lady, and she's just like, kid, I don't want to deal with you. And Autumn has been the alpha in my house since the day we got her. So I figured she'd try to like alpha all over him, try to like steal his bones or get his food. And she's just like, this kid can do whatever he wants, he's a baby. But Autumn's still definitely the alpha. But yeah, he's a good dog. And I'm still getting used to having a Dane and having them be up your butt all the time. He's just always by my side. And then I leave in the morning and I leave him at home, because here he wouldn't heal well. So I leave him at home, and as I'm like scooching out the door, I'm like making sure he like stays back while I close the door. And you just see him in the window as I like drive off, and he's like, Mom, where are you going? Why are you leaving me here? And he's only like alone for maybe half an hour until my dad comes downstairs to feed them and take him out and stuff. But I don't know. Eventually he'll get used to it, and eventually I'll be able to bring him here. But yeah, it's my Nevel update. Alright, it is 3:29, and I'm gonna sign off now. I will hopefully be back on Thursday at 3:15, but you never know, things come up. But hopefully I'll be back. Have a good night.